Well, this was quite the month. Japan's stock market just crashed and took us down with them a little bit. Interest rates came down to the lowest level we've seen since December, and then started rising back up a little bit. Meanwhile, the Fed announced that they'll definitely lower interest rates starting in September and continuing indefinitely. Inventory is blowing up on a national level along with days on market. You have one contingent of people like Barbara Corcoran claiming that the market will be on fire once rates break 6%, but then you have the same people on YouTube claiming
the crash is on the way
for the past 5 years. So who do you believe? What do you choose to believe? And well, somewhere in the middle there is me. The truth is that nobody knows for certain. But in this video, I'm going to show you what's really going on and either substantiate or disprove some of what's floating around out there. So stay tuned as we cover the analytics and you decide what's what for yourself. Okay, first up are last month's sales. We managed to sell 1,868 homes in July. Now, on one hand, this translates to a 5% increase over July of last year, but on the other hand, this is only about 60% of what we typically sell. But hey, let's take the small victories where we can. With sales down 60%, you'd think that pricing would be declining as well, right? We've seen 6 straight months of price increases. Will this finally be the month we level off? On the screen now, you can see that somehow we managed to increase $10,000 last month to settle in at our all-time high of $485,000. Again, this is our all-time high set in May of 22. This record puts us up almost 8% over July of last year. With prices soaring, this clearly means that inventory must have shrunk, right? Wrong! We ended July with just under 4,500 homes on the market. We've now seen inventory increase for 13 straight weeks. This translated to a 13% increase last month alone. Now, later in the video, we're going to discuss inventory levels in a very big way. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about housing absorption by price range. We track this metric to see how different price ranges are performing. The higher the percentage, the more demand that price segment is seeing. Now, first up is the bulk of our market, homes priced between $250,000 and $500,000. This came crashing down from 47% down to 41%, meaning only 41% of the homes that you see online are actually under contract. Just 4 months ago, this number was 54%. Next, we have homes priced between $500,000 and $750,000. This saw a slight decline from 35% to only 33%. Now, next we have homes priced between $750,000 to $1 million. This saw a larger 4% decline from 30% to 26%. Now let's talk luxury, homes priced between $1 million and $1.5 million. This came down slightly from 23% down to 22%. Finally, we have the ultra-luxury market of homes priced over $1.5 million. This came down from 16% to 14%. Overall, our market is down to only 34% saturation. So basically, only 1 out of 3 homes listed for sale is actually under contract right now. This is what you typically see in, say, December or January when the market slows down. Not great numbers for midsummer. Okay, let's unpack what we learned and make some sense out of all this madness of going around. Inventory has increased 13 weeks in a row, yet sales are off 40%. In spite of those two metrics, somehow the median price has risen every single month this year. I'll be the first to admit this doesn't make any sense. And when things don't make sense, that's never a good sign. So first, let's talk days on market and national inventory. Remember, real estate is local. The housing market in Dallas and Tampa may or may not have any correlation to real estate here in Las Vegas. So be careful when you read articles about real estate on a national level. As you may have heard, the market in Texas and Florida is starting to crater. The main reason for this is that both states started overbuilding new homes to meet past demand. Meanwhile, here in Nevada, 63% of land is owned by the Fed. That number jumps to 90% here in Clark County. So even if we wanted to overbuild, we don't have the developable land to do so. Now check out this map. This map shows the comparison by state of inventory now versus in 2019. You can see that Florida is even, but Texas has 5% more inventory than they did 5 years ago. This is in spite of hypermigration the state has seen over these past 5 years. Then look at Nevada. We have 39% less inventory than we did 5 years ago. Worse, I manually pulled the numbers for Las Vegas specifically, and we're down 51%. To make this even more profound, look at the difference just between last year and this year. Only South Dakota and Nevada are still negative. California and Texas are up 42%, Arizona is up 54%, and Florida is leading the country with 71%. Everyone in the US is affected by high interest rates, but some states simply built more new homes and created inventory more than other states. Next, let's talk mortgage rates. As the rest of the country battles a slumping housing market, the feds are finally taking reductions seriously. We should finally see our first cut next month, followed by measured cuts for the indefinite future. Now, regardless of who wins the election, neither candidate wants to see an immediate sluggish economy, so you can expect rates to come down along with the mortgage spread at some point here in the indefinite future. According to a Forbes article published on Tuesday, August 6th, most analysts expect rates to be in the mid to high sixes by the end of this year. Now, at the time of filming, rates are already 6.5%. Nobody even mentioned the fact that on Monday, August 5th, the 30-year FHA mortgage hit 5.75%. Now, who knows what the Fed will do and how markets will ultimately respond? But with housing sagging and unemployment rising, I'd be very surprised if rates aren't lower than the analysts are predicting by year's end. So, what should buyers and sellers do with all this? Frankly, I think this election has much more to do with the market than people are giving credit for. Many high-end buyers have already hit the pause button to see what kind of world they'll be living in come November. Will they still have their Trump's tax cuts? Or will they incur new tax liabilities? Who wins this election could also have a tremendous impact on migration patterns. We could see more businesses and therefore business owners and wealthy individuals leaving the state of California for states like Nevada and Texas that are more business friendly and offer a more generous tax base. So if you're looking to purchase, I'd keep a very close eye on those interest rates. As rates decrease, you're going to see more and more buyers enter the market. This might wind up being a great window to swoop on a home before the market potentially gets competitive next spring. Now, especially for weaker buyers and lower income buyers that already have fierce competition. If you're looking to sell in the near term, I'd get that house on the market ASAP and be realistic. You're seeing more and more price decreases and sitting inventory. This was a pretty dismal summer for sales, which means this is likely to be a very cold winter as well. With the rest of the country facing much worse inventory issues than we do here in Las Vegas, that negative national coverage could adversely affect more local buyers. And while technically the median price is actually increasing, realistically, I'm seeing more and more average condition homes see price reductions and just linger around. I have to believe that we're at the end of these crazy price increases on the road here. If you're going to sell, I'd recommend you get out quick and not risk the many variables. Otherwise, you can assume the risk, hope rates break 6% in spring, and the market continues its bull run. Well, that's it for this month, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and please subscribe if you enjoyed all this content. I'll see you guys all in the next video next week. Deuces.